What if the speed of darkness could be faster than light? A ridiculous notion, but this is the very question that inspired the Aether Universe. Dark and light are two opposing forces that dictates all human thoughts and decisions. Think about it. Dark and light is synonymous to black and white, also good and evil. Be sure to subscribe to the Aether Comics universe as we dive into a world where reality is bent for your entertainment. Now, let's get back to the video. Realistically, darkness is not a substance. It is only the absence of light. But if there was a world where darkness was a substance that could compete with light, what would happen? In an elemental world, light and dark are two elements of the same substance. But because dark and light can't exist in the same space at the same time, they are separated for safety. So imagine you're holding these elements in either hand. The room you're in has been stripped of all light and placed into a white orb, and all the darkness was stripped from the room and placed into the black. Then imagine raising them up and looking at the two. Wait, what does this room look like now? We are still bordering on absurdity here, but scientifically, light is physical, made of photons. If you remove all light, you are removing these photons. In physics, darkness isn't a thing you can grab and pull out of a room. Darkness is simply the absence of light. By removing all light, you have already created absolute darkness. But in this conceptual paradox, because darkness is the absence of light, the only way to remove it is to remove the space that the darkness exists. But remember that obsidian orb I told you to imagine earlier? You can certainly make that happen. To remove both elements entirely, you'd be left in a vacuum where your eyes would not interpret anything but pure black. Not darkness, just pure black. But in the hypothetical space that still exists, you'd find yourself in something called Eigengrau. This phenomenon was famously documented by 19th century German physicist and philosopher Gustav Fechner, who noted that our perception of darkness is never truly empty. Eigengrau is the uniform dark gray color that human eyes perceive in perfect darkness. Because your optic nerves are always firing tiny random electrical pulses, your brain never perceives a true, perfect zero of light as pure black. If you could somehow strip both light and darkness from a space, you'd be standing in a sterile, perfect physical vacuum, and your brain would interpret the void as a dark, fuzzy gray. In the Aether Universe, this gray is an element on its own called Vision. Because of the astronomical amounts of energy it takes to remove light and dark, this element is one of the most destructive forces in the universe. And I can't wait until you read the book where this happens. Ready to unlock the full story? Check out the Aether novels linked in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I'll see you next time, friends. Keep seeing the unseen.